What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex. You watching the Ragin Nation show. This is just a web series where we talk about all things matter me in the world of movies. The first thing that I gotta talk about is release dates, and we now have an official release date for Taken 3. Liam Neeson is back as Brian Mills, and he's here to kick butt again in the third installment of the Taken franchise. And Taken 3 will be officially released on January 9th, 2015. So mark your calendars for that. And if you are a Ridley Scott fan, you will want to mark your calendars for March 4th, 2016, because he has a feature film coming out on that date. Now, here's the crazy part. Nobody knows what movie that is, but there is an untitled Ridley Scott picture coming out on that date. Now, considering that we don't know what kind of movie that is, it could be a couple of movies. It could be the sequel to Blade Runner. It could be the sequel to Prometheus. Prometheus 2 is a movie that I really want to see more, mainly because Prometheus ended on a cliffhanging note. All right, it ended on a cliffhanger, and I felt that it is the first part to a larger story. So I really want to see what happens next. I want to see what happens before Alien. So hopefully, what we're getting on March 4th, 2016, is Prometheus 2. So we'll have an announcement later on for that, but for the time being, it's an untitled Ridley Scott feature. All right. Moving on, we got to talk about Ghostbusters 3. Yes, that is actually happening. And it is finally moving forward. If things go well, we can see a production start in New York in as early as 2015. That's what they're aiming for. They're aiming for an early 2015 production start. Now, if they secure production in as early as 2015, like early 2015, then we should be pretty positive to see Ghostbusters 3 in 2016. Okay, so 2 years from now is really not that bad. I mean, it's 2014, Ghostbusters 3 coming in 2016. That's not that bad. I mean, we're talking about a big movie. Now, one thing that's not returning is the director, Ivan Reitman. Ivan Reitman won't be back to return as a director. He directed Ghostbusters 1 and 2, but it looks like he is out. Instead, who's possibly going to be directing Ghostbusters 3 is the guys behind the Lego Movie. The Lego Movie was awesome, and it is directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller. They did an awesome job with that, especially with the humor and the direction. I love that. And hopefully we'll see that same sort of thing and the direction and the funness that was in the Lego Movie in Ghostbusters 3. So the production date will hopefully happen in as early as 2015. I mean, in early 2015 in New York, and hopefully for a 2016 release. All right. Now moving on, we got to talk about another big franchise that is coming in 2015, and that would be Jurassic Park 4, which is titled Jurassic World. Now, what's really curious about this is what is it all about, but another thing is who is coming back from the original 3 films. And, well, there is one character who has been overlooked, underappreciated, and also maybe a little bit disgruntled, and that would be the character of Dr. Henry Wu, played by B.D. Wong. It appears that he is coming back, and it's great to see familiar faces. He was an engine scientist, or rather an engineer, working for Dr. Hammond, and he's coming back for Jurassic World, and actually he had a pretty big part in the Michael Crichton novels. He played a pretty big part. And he's been stuck on the island for 20 years, and nobody really appreciates him. And it's quite possible he's going to be playing a human villain. Now, I say human villain mainly because, well, the dinosaurs, the meat-eating dinosaurs, the really scary ones, are the main antagonists of the film. So we're not going to be seeing Jeff Goldblum or Sam Neill or Laura Dern, but instead the only person coming back is a character played by B.D. Wong, and that would be Dr. Henry Wu. So there you have it. Jurassic World is coming out in 2015. All right. Now, let's talk about the biggest franchise of them all, and that would be Star Wars Episode 7. And Star Wars Episode 7 is coming out next year, late next year, but not a whole lot of information has been given out, and not a whole lot of announcement, except for a couple of casting rumors and who's gonna be in the movie. And so far, the only official announcement is that Adam Driver is going to be playing a villain. But another new announcement just came out, and it looks like Star Wars Episode 7 is going to be set 30 years after Return of the Jedi. So a lot has happened after Return of the Jedi. We're talking about a 30-year span, okay? And I'm sure a lot has been happening. I mean, a lot has happened, but who knows what has happened? All right, I have no idea what happened. Do you? Anyways, what's Episode 7 is going to cover is the events happening 30 years after Return of the Jedi. So a lot will have changed since Return of the Jedi, and well, I'm looking forward to that. Star Wars is pretty much the biggest franchise in movie history, and man, oh man, it's going to be big. So that's definitely something to look forward to. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is Michael Bay. Michael Bay is always in the news, mainly because he is working on Transformers Age of Extinction, and you can check out all my Transformers Age of Extinction movie updates on my other channel, youtube.com/TheRaginNation. That's where I talk about anything Transformers related and toys. But here I want to talk about Michael Bay's next possible movie, and it's possible that it won't be Transformers 5 or Transformers 6. Instead, he might be directing an underwater adventure. Now that is a bit of something different for Michael Bay. We're talking about an adventure movie, not a full-on action movie or a shoot 'em up or a movie involving a lot of explosions. We're talking about underwater adventure. Now his Platinum Dunes label will be producing with his partners Andrew Form and Brad Fuller. And there's no other details about it except that it's a real science adventure thriller. So what could be possibly happening in a Michael Bay produced and directed underwater adventure? I don't know. I don't know what that could be like. I have no idea. But he's producing it with his partners, with his Platinum Dunes label, with the potential to be a directing vehicle for him next. Now, Michael Bay has a lot of other films that he's producing after Transformers Age of Extinction and also after Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's a lot of other potential directing vehicles for him. For example, Ghost Recon, and also a couple of other ones. I forgot what they are, but this is also one of them. It's untitled so far, but all we know, it's an underwater adventure thriller. And there you have it. So Transformers 5, or rather, a Michael Bay directed Transformers 5 film seems less and less likely. All right? There you have it. That's all I got to say in this video. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation, and also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation. You can check out my photos on Instagram at The Ragin Nation. My name is Alex Yu, and thanks for watching. You can talk about anything that I've covered on the comment section below, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Because, first of all, I think Gambit is a really cool character, but I absolutely loved Nightcrawler in X2. I wish that he